Hello ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games back again with another Ark Survival Evolved news video. Massive news today guys, huge news. Now I don't normally do that and you'll never see me put that in my poxy thumbnails, but, well, sometimes. This is nuts! Alongside the TLC update that we're going to be getting on February 18th, I told you guys it was coming, it is happening, the first wave is coming to PC, we're going to go into more detail about that in a second. They're also adding a creative mode for Ark Survival Evolved, no longer grinding. If you want resources, if you want to play and cheat on your single player world, do what you want to do, you'll be able to do it because there is a creative building mode coming to Ark Survival Evolved. So let's get on with the Ark news. Some of your favourite dinosaurs are getting revamped. You've probably seen lots of content on this in the last few weeks. Loads of YouTubers are suddenly covering it. But it has been in the works for a while now. And I have been telling you guys for months when it would come out. And I was right. The first wave of actual TLC is going to be starting out on February the 18th on PC. Now, just like I said last week in my video, it's going to probably take a good couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks to get it onto console. So don't expect it towards the end of February, possibly even beginning of March for Xbox One and the PS4. And even though that's only a few weeks away, they're already thinking about TLC Phase 2. Now remember, it's not just visual changes, they are giving buffs, they are giving some abilities to some of your favourite creatures. It's not just dinosaurs getting buffs, some of them are getting nerfs as well to make sure it's aligned more in the actual core game. So let's take a look at it. So take a look at the RG. Now this is all Phase 2 stuff I'm about to show you. So all these pictures, all I'm talking about are right now Phase 2. So this won't be coming in February, this will be coming at some point later on in spring, maybe even summer. I've got to say, I'm not that impressed with the RG. It looks a little bit more like a vulture and I don't like it. I think I prefer the old one. That's the first time I think I've ever said that about a TLC pass. If you compare some of the other pictures like the Dire Bear and the T-Rex and stuff like that, but I quite like the old RG. I don't know, you let me know, what do you prefer, the old one or the new one? So the new TLC pass is going to grant the Argent a new saddle that will receive reduced weight capabilities on obsidian and various other materials and the ability to craft smithy items within the saddle. That is great stuff. So the RG is definitely going to be a war horse now. No longer is it just going to be used good for stamina, it's also going to be useful for actually crafting and just getting around the map and making it your mobile base. It's going to be able to carry 2 additional passengers, one with its claws and one in its beak. No way! I don't know how I feel about the big business. The Argent will be carrying heavier than current creatures in its talons, while its beak will be able to support the weight of smaller creatures. Lastly, upon consuming a corpse, the Argent will receive rapid health regeneration, making this vulture a formidable aerial tank. And I guess that's the word, they've used the word vulture. It does look like just a bigger version of a vulture now in the face, certainly. The Spino has long been needed a boost. Everyone complains about the Spino. For Aberration it's kind of king because there's no T-Rex or Giga, but I know lots of you have always wanted the Spino to get a better look. They did revamp it slightly just before release. They gave it a little bit of a once over, but they didn't certainly add any real buffs to it. So in the TLC Pass 2, the Spinosaur will now be operating. It can stand up and it can actually go on all fours. Apparently that's a thing in nature that people were contesting. Apparently a Spino could walk on both legs. While on 2 legs the Spino will move slower but be able to bite and use its claws to do increased damage. While on 4 legs it will be able to move faster. Due to its affinity to water, the Spino will receive a buff which applies a bonus to movement speed, turning radius, attack damage and health regen when fighting in water, and will last for some time after exiting the water. It will also prefer prime fish for taming over prime meat and have an increased chance of gathering prime fish meat. So that is just a sneak peek of 2 of the creatures coming in the TLC update 2. But we've got massive news about all the stuff that's going to be hitting PC on February the 18th. Dino TLC the Procopticon. Receive a model update, animation update, sound pass and some new abilities. Will take reduced fall damage. Carry weight will be noticeably increased. Can carry small creatures and baby dinos in its pouch. A nutback kick which can affect significantly larger dinos. Added an aimed jump which can be used by holding down a jump key. Carried characters in a pouch have reduced food consumption rate when carried by mate boosted female Procopticons. And babies imprinted while in a carried Procopticon pouch receive more affinity. That is nuts. So basically the kangaroo is going to be your babysitter. If you have some of these around, you're going to get more affinity by putting your babies inside them and just coming along and petting them. They're literally going to be a wet nurse. The Gigantopithecus receives a model update, animation, new fur, sound pass and new abilities. It's going to have an armor grading attack, which means when it fights it will do more damage to your armor. It's going to be able to climb zip lines but not jump between them. Added the ability to climb zip lines, so if you're going to be bringing over items from Aberration, obviously the zip line launcher, you can use that on any map. If you don't know, you can use all these items on any map. You're going to have to transfer them if you're on official servers, which I'm guessing they're going to have to open up at some point so that you can get more items from Aberration. Let me know right the current status now. I know you can't transfer anything into Aberration other than characters, but can you take out items from Aberration? They've also added a jump. It can now carry and throw small creatures, and this throwing has been made more accurate. The Dire Bear, it's got a model update, animation update, new fur and new abilities. When riding a Dire Bear, players will be immune to bees, they won't knock you off your bear and they will target focus the bear instead of the player. The Dire Bear will also harvest honey from wild beehives without attracting bees or hurting the hive. Plus the amount of honey it receives will be 2 times the standard amount. The Direwolf. Model update, animation update, new fur, new abilities. Howl now activates a pack buff for 5 minutes with a minute cooldown. When the alpha howls, the pack also howls. The pack buff strengthens the alpha as well as the pack, reduced amount vs alpha. Hunter's instinct passive buff, which allows it to sniff out people creatures with less than 50% health. Sniff tertiary ability to indicate explorer notes or to detect buried stealth creatures. This is great stuff, guys. A long time ago, Jesse gave an interview, or he announced that they would be looking at the dinosaurs, not just being able to see, but use their other senses and utilise them. So it's really good to see they're finally putting more of this stuff into some of the base game creatures. The Rex receives model update, animation update and new abilities. Its roar should receive a CD and make non-allies under a certain drag weight poop to act as a small stun interrupt. There will be a cooldown on victims so they cannot be poop locked continuously. When have you ever heard poop locked in your life in a game? One thing you can't say about Ark is they're not unique. The roar will not be able to scare anything above its level. Roar will cause players to poop but not stun them. Rex's ability to climb over small rocks and steeper slopes have been improved. So there's a bunch of other little things here. We're going to go through these because often they've been putting big changes in the actual smaller patch notes and, you know, trying to not hide it, but certainly it's created more discussion sometimes. Dragon's Fire Breath direct impact damage reduced by 50%. Fix the bug which caused rock drake and wyvern eggs to sink before low their nests over time. God damn, the wyvern eggs has been a problem for a long time. Rock golem saddles that have been now added to the Scorched Earth loot table. Hallelujah. Added basilisk and rock drake saddles to Aberration loot table. They've uploaded the creature stats, now display movement speed and melee damage. Fixed the case where certain creatures would sink under the map inside the map when colliding with larger creatures. Fixed an issue which was causing a desync with the Reaper's collision. No longer need pheromone to claim Reaper Kings. What? No longer need pheromone? That's half the mechanic, isn't it? Grabbing them? Boss drops will no longer flee when told to harvest dino corpses. Fix the bug where some creatures will not be able to attack at low server FPS. Brontos and Parasaurs breeding time have been increased by 50%, equivalent to Quets. Reduced Bronto HP gain per level by 33%. Reduce Bronto base HP by 10%. Reduce the Parasinophynium base HP by 10%. Reduce Parasaur HP gain per level by 25%. Reduce Tuso base HP by 20%. Reduce Tuso HP gain per level by 25%. Reduce Donkey resistance to bullets to 40%. Reduce Donkey other resistance to 60%. Stego plate resistance reduced to 30%. Wow, they are some big changes and they are aimed squarely at PvP. With the actual turret nerf that you guys really have hotly contested that since that was announced. Lots of you have been complaining that some of the dinosaurs are going to need a lot more changes and effects with them so that they're actually viable. You're not just going to get spammed or taken over by like a few Brontos. So I'm presuming this is in answer to that. That's going to hopefully help with the actual nerf of PvP turrets. Tech Tapiara no longer inflicts raid damage. How you inflict Toolpot on Titan, Crab and Golem. Oh no, so they've got rid of that, so you can't knock out creatures anymore with the Tapiara Saddle Blast. AI option for dinos to only attack consciousness targets added to Titan Boa. skittish stance added to tamed dinos. Now on to the big one that I mentioned at the beginning, creative mode building. Now to be honest, there's not much more other options or anything that says there, but they finally realised that there is going to be some fantastic builds coming along. Anyway, creative mode, wow, it is something that people have been asking for such a long time, and you know what, I'm really surprised they're doing it. I think it would mean there would be lots of problems for single player worlds, and there would be problems for dedicated worlds and servers. They're going to have to monitor it carefully. One of the biggest issues with Ark is that when you build a big base, it just causes loads of lag. It causes loads of server problems where it just makes that, like, going around that area a nightmare. They have allowed you to up it what you want, so you can have the building pieces as big as you want on your own servers, but it's limited, I think, to 10,000, I do believe. So having a creative mode is going to be fantastic, but it might kill a lot of servers. So if you're a server host, be careful if you're going to enable this for anyone. We'll have to play it out and see if it goes just for single player or actual servers. Server option to disable fog. Ark will now scan your Steam achievements and update your local profile. Add messages to try blogs with information about uploading and downloading creatures. Made a respawning player not targetable by wild AI. Yes! No more getting done by a few compies. As soon as you spawn, you're going to be able to be safe for a few minutes, hopefully. Option to hide learned engrams. Woohoo! Players can now directly go from prone into crouching position. Ambient sounds have their own volume slider. Right click context option added to folders to equip everything inside, allowing for rapid gear switching. Created a use last pin code so players can quickly access secured structures. Silencer now hides the name of the player who has killed you from the kill message and tribe log. Server option to make supply crates random. Cooldown added to tribes changing their name. 5-second character and base immunity added to AWP servers when first logging in. Fix the collision issue affecting some dino gates that allowed unintended entry. Fix multiple unintended mechanics. We'll explain in a bit more detail after the update drops. What does that mean? What does that mean? Fix multiple unintended mechanics. That is the most bullshitty line I think I've ever seen in an update. Obviously, he has put a winky face smile at it, so obviously, yeah, I'm sure it's going to become apparent once it's there. But what is that? What is that, Jack? What does that mean? Fix an issue where tech teleporters built on pillars, ceilings would push players and creatures beneath it. Fix the crash caused by using false tame when riding a dino. Improved red crystal collision so they can be harvested more efficiently by Anki. Corrected the aquatic mushroom description. Removed collision from glow sticks which would cause movement problems with certain creatures. Fixed multiple client server crashes. Fixed an issue where some zipline anchors were outside of replication range, preventing them from being used. Fixed the case which would allow players mounted on certain creatures to throw play C4 a lot further. Corrected an incorrect icon with the Seeker dossier. Fixed the case where teleporting outside of a large base with a tech teleporter would show foliage that was harvested. Fix multiple map issues like holes and collisions, and fix the case where some foliage would not replicate appropriately on aberration. It's a huge update. This is what they're going to be doing, and I've said this, guys, they're not going to be updating the game on a weekly basis, not even maybe on a monthly basis anymore. It's going to be literally every few months we're going to get a huge update that's going to offer lots of content. It's not going to be just a case of the dinos being tweaked and buffed. Obviously there are going to be lots of game mechanics and things changing too. So absolutely huge news. Brand new dino buffs, brand new ways of playing the game with the creative mode, huge things happening with Ark Survival Evolved. I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that's pretty decent they're adding something like that. It needs it. Ark has not been dying, but it's certainly been slowing down. Across the board, PvP servers are losing players left, right and centre, and majority of people that are playing on rentable servers seem to be hopping back and forth between different servers. A big shout out to SB4D. I quite like this video. Go and check it out. It's won the community crunch this week for Ark video skit. And for the architect video, a fantastic game of life video. It looks nuts. It amazes me when people build stuff like this. Not just like chessboards and things like that, but they actually go and build huge, massive board games. And a big shout out to TLC138. This dude is in the top 3 every single goddamn week. He's got another base that's got runner-up prize in the huge tree platform that he's built here. So well done, dude. And some YouTuber called Jade Plays Games occasionally does some sort of news, has got a video in the fan feature. You might want to check it out because he's right on the money most of the time, and he did tell you guys all about the TLC passes coming in Ark 2018 video. So go and check this video out to find out even more what's coming for the rest of Ark in the rest of the year. And it's got to be right. It's been put first in the fan feature. So there we go, I am Jade Plays Games. That has been the Ark news. Huge changes. Let me know what you think about creative mode, and I will see you right back some more Ark news very soon.